Good morning, NASNPRO TV. I am with Caitlin, the educator from Yon-ka. Caitlin, you can take it over.
Thank you so much, Denise. Good morning, everyone, and thank you again, NASNPRO, for having me. My name is Caitlin Kendall. I'm a senior corporate educator at Yon-ka Paris. I'm also a licensed esthetician, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is aromatherapy. There's a few reasons I wanted to talk to you today about aromatherapy. As I said, it's something I'm personally passionate about, something that I love and enjoy. I use it in my personal life. It's also part of my professional life. I work with aromatherapeutic products at work, but wellness has been on my mind so much for the last 7 months, especially during the pandemic. Consumers, spa goers, everyone is looking for more ways to de-stress and unwind and be well. And aromatherapy is a really amazing way to do this. I saw a recent study from Day Spa magazine that said that they expect between 2019 and 2027 for the sales of essential oils to double globally. And I absolutely believe that that's true. I have seen an increased use in essential oils over the last 7 months. As I said, everybody wants to find ways to feel good and unwind and de-stress. And that's why we're going to talk about aromatherapy today. So first and foremost, what is aromatherapy? Aromatherapy is the use of pure essential oils for their therapeutic properties. It provides the skin with both energy and radiance. What are essential oils? These are the odoriferous and volatile substances found in aromatic plants. You can think of these as the life force of the plant. When you extract an essential oil, it's 75 to 100 times more potent than within the plant itself. Essential oils are artfully extracted and blended for their therapeutic skincare benefits. And because essential oils are phytochemicals, they naturally contain their own chemotypes, so other phytochemicals, that makes them really, really therapeutic. And some of the components that they contain, terpenes, phenols, esters, ketones, alcohols, and acids. And we also have actions both to our skin and body, our dermocosmetic actions, as well as our olfactory benefits when we inhale our essential oils. I think it's really important that I point out there's a lot of ways we can use aromatherapy. Of course, inhalation is one way. We can use our diffuser and diffuse essential oils throughout our environment. We can also use aromatherapy in our skincare preparations. Actually, right now I have a diffuser going in the background, so I have some aromatherapy with us here today too. So what forms do our essential oils come in? This is a little bit about what they are like. They are solar charged and they're potent. Again, think of them as the life force of the plant. They're light, dry oils. They have a non-oily texture. And in fact, they're not lipids at all. I think a lot of consumers, when they hear the term aromatherapy and they hear essential oils, they hear that word oil, they immediately think, oh, these are lipid oils, and they become concerned. Americans, and especially, are not always in love with lipid-based oils and think that they may clog pores. But these are different. They are very molecularly lightweight, very small in size, and they are tissue-friendly for optimum absorption and potency. Your essential oils are going to penetrate transdermally. They will penetrate your epidermis, your dermis, your subcutaneous layer, and impact your circulatory and lymphatic system. This is what allows them to bring long-term benefits to the skin and the body. Essential oils are soluble in alcohol and oil, but not in water. They're actually hydrophobic, and they come in various colors. If you ever work with neat essential oils, which means undiluted, I think that all the amazing colors that your aromatic essential oils come in is so fascinating. And I always think of German chamomile or matricaria. It's a bright, dark blue oil. It's really beautiful to look at. But then you have something like sweet orange or bitter orange essential oils, and those are bright yellowy orange color. So lots of different varieties of plants, and really very potent and therapeutic for us. So let's talk about these actions. We have on our two sides of the slide our dermocosmetic actions and our olfactory actions. And it's important for me to point out that aromatherapy is the only science that treats the body and the mind. Our dermocosmetic actions, we're going to be able to impact all the different layers of the skin, impact healthy microcirculation, and bring about a number of really specific results for the skin and the body. And that's what we have listed here. So for example, thyme essential oil, thyme is a great potent antibacterial ingredient. Savory is antifungal. Geranium essential oil is antiseptic. True lavender and geranium essential oils are healing, regenerating. Rosemary essential oil is very firming, draining, astringent. Petitgrain, azulene, and neroli essential oils, these help calm. And then other draining essential oils, cypress and our helichrysum, otherwise known as everlasting essential oils. Now, on the other side, we have our olfactory benefits. We are going to have a balancing of the nervous system and really many different benefits from when we smell our essential oils. For example, rosemary to stimulate, lavender, verbena, and petitgrain to calm. And then our citrus essential oils are really, really balancing. For example, orange, grapefruit, bergamot, etc., to bring you those great psychotropic or psychological properties. This leads me to talk about aromacology. I love aromacology. This is really a subscience of aromatherapy, and it's how inhaling natural scents affects our mood. And here's some questions I want you to think about and keep in mind. How can an odor or a smell influence your mood, calm your anxieties, increase our sense of ambition and focus, and lower aggression? And it all has to do with what part of the brain the scent of the essential oils is impacting, and that's our limbic brain. Our limbic brain is our feeling or emotional brain. And when you smell something, scent impacts the limbic system in the brain, and our scents are linked to our memories and our emotions. Scent reminds us of different memories we have. These can be pleasant memories, unpleasant memories as well. So scent is going to trigger feeling. And I say to my students a lot, have you ever smelled something and it brings you back to a different time or place in your life? Maybe it reminds you of a person that you knew or used to know. So scent is very, very powerful of our five senses. And smell also induces a sensory stimulus that adds to our other four senses, like our sight, hearing, taste, and touch. So if you're smelling something along with feeling something, for example, it really impacts your emotions even more deeply. This is why it's so important in our spas that we have scent for our clients, especially from aromatherapy. It really adds to their whole experience. Let's touch on a little bit of the history of aromatherapy and how it has come to our modern times. So right here, we're looking at René Maurice Gatafos. But if we look back 2,000 to 3,000 years, you will see aromatic essences used in a lot of cultures. For example, our ancient Egyptians, you also see it in traditional Chinese medicine as well as Ayurveda. And you see these aromatic essences and perfumes used for cosmetic uses, medicinal uses, flavoring, but also you see them in religious and cultural ceremonies or significance as well. So aromatherapy has been around for millennia. It's a really ancient plant science, and again, something that is so healing and therapeutic for us. But as we talk about the 20th and the 21st century, how did aromatherapy become modernized? And this leads us back to René Maurice. René Maurice was a French chemist, and his father happened to be involved in the, I will say, import and export business of flavorings, perfumes, essential oils. So he grew up around scent and himself got involved in the family business, and as I mentioned, was a chemist. He happened to sustain a really severe chemical burn that was not healing and was starting to become gangrenous. And this was around the time period of 1910, 1915. And modern medicine at the time was not helping to heal him. So he used pure lavender essential oil to help heal his burn and prevent scarring. And that sort of light bulb moment, led René Maurice to really begin studying and writing about aromatherapy. He's actually the person we can thank for creating the word aromatherapy, which is available in all languages. I think of René Maurice as being the person that helped modernize and really bring aromatherapy into the 20th century. He continued to write and study about aromatherapy into the early 1950s until his passing. And then you see others take up the torch. Madame Maury is one. We also have Dr. Valnet as well. He was a French surgeon and doctor. He served in the military, served in World War II, and he had a lot of great success treating wounds with essential oils, things that had been attained in battle. And what I think is so fascinating about Dr. Valnet, he believed that your holistic remedies like essential oils and modern medicine were not two separate facets, that they could both exist together. And I find that so really interesting, and especially because when we think about countries like France and Germany, they really do have a large plant pharmacopoeia, including essential oils, as part of their medical care. And Dr. Valnet is one of the people that we can thank for that. He also continued to experiment, do clinical studies with essential oils, write about them, use them on patients throughout his life. And I personally love that he had a really big, I'll say, interest in wellness. He thought that we needed to have ways to be whole and to be well, and he thought that essential oils were a great way to do that. So thank you to all the pioneers in aromatherapy. And that really helped bring it up into the 21st century where we are now. As I was saying, we can anticipate and expect that consumer interest is just going to continue with essential oils. We also are, really dealing with an unusual year in 2020. The spa industry has been greatly affected, and we need to have ways to help our clients at home and in spa. And aromatherapy is a really wonderful way to do that. So it can be in the products we're recommending for them. Again, to inhale the essential oils or use in a diffuser. It's a really great way to bring spa to the clients at home. Now, to switch gears a little bit, how are we obtaining our essential oils? How are we extracting them? And this may be a question that some of your consumers may ask you. So what do we do? How do we obtain our essential oils? And we have 4 major methods here. Distillation, which is a very common method of obtaining our essential oils. You see this primarily used for essential oils coming from leaves, twigs, bark. Steam distillation, again, very, very common and popular way to obtain your essential oils. Next is enfleurage. Enfleurage is a less common method of extraction and really only used for very delicate essential oils from flower petals. Something like jasmine, neroli, and that is involved a pressing of the petals in a fat or wax-like substance that the essential oil is then extracted from. So for very, very tender or very delicate essences. Rose, again, perfect example. Expression or maceration is a method to obtain your essential oil from the rind of a fruit. It's commonly used from citrus. I always like to give the example to my students, if you've ever peeled an orange and squirted yourself, that's not necessarily the juice of the fruit we're looking at. We are dealing with the orange essential oil from the rind. And then our last method is solvation. This is using a solvent like ether to extract our essential oil. And all of these methods are definitely used today in the 21st century. Here's a quote I want you to think about as we continue to talk about aromatherapy today. The sourcing and the blending of an essential oil is the difference between a good product and an exceptional one. The climate, the geography, the genus species, all of this matters when dealing with your essential oil in terms of its therapeutic properties and how useful it's going to be. So out there are absolutely synthetic essential oils or adulterated essential oils, and there are pure essential oils. So you want to pay attention to their quality, where they're from, how they're sourced, and what therapeutic values they have. And one of the ways you can do this is through gas chromatography. This is a great way to have quality control. This is a qualitative and quantitative analysis of essential oils. And you are basically going to get a blueprint or an assay of your essential oil, and it's going to let you know what phytochemicals are inside and really let you know the quality. Years ago, when I was first learning about essential oils, somebody said to me, they equated this to wine and about having a good crop of wine, producing a great bottle of wine versus maybe the vineyard didn't have a good year and the soil wasn't as good and they didn't have as great grapes and it was a poor quality bottle of wine. We want to not have those concerns when we're working with essential oils. We want to have the right chemical properties inside, and quality control and having that gas chromatography to give us that blueprint is so important. But one of the best examples I can give you is lavender essential oil. There are over 30 different species of lavender in our genus Lavandula. So what lavender are you going to use? And specifically for me, the lavender that I work with is our true lavender or true French lavender, Lavandula angustifolia. There are a number of other therapeutic lavenders out there. And two other examples, we have our hybrid Lavandin, which is a hybrid of usually true lavender and spike lavender, and then butterfly lavender. But if you're formulating, especially for a skincare product, and you're concerned about having the best quality and the safest essential oil, which one are you going to pick and why? What you're looking at right now is gas chromatography of our hybrid Lavandin versus true lavender. And the phytochemical I want to talk to you today about is camphor. Camphor is certainly very therapeutic and very useful in a lot of preparations. It is, however, also very, very stimulating, and it's not appropriate if someone is pregnant. It's not appropriate for young children. It needs to be in lower quantities to be considered safe. Butterfly lavender happens to have a really high percentage of camphor naturally contained in it, and so does lavandin. And this is why we work with true lavender. It's definitely the lavender you think of when you think of the universal lavender that is safe for everybody, can be applied neat to the skin, is very calming, very soothing. People mean true lavender when they just say lavender, because all the different types of lavender have different therapeutic values, different therapeutic properties based on what phytochemicals or chemotypes they naturally contain. So having this quality control is really important. You get the best results. It's also going to give you the best safety. Since we're talking about lavender, I want to segue into 5 essential oils that I work with a lot that have great therapeutic properties, whether we're inhaling them, whether we're diffusing them, or they're in skincare preparations. And actually, the 5 essential oils that I'm talking about today are what I have in my diffuser right now and smell wonderful. So first and foremost, true lavender is obtained from Provence in France. And we have a number of dermocosmetic actions: analgesic, anti-inflammatory, antiseptic, healing, regenerating. And our psychotropic action is calming. Please note that this species Lavandula angustifolia is also the same species as Lavandula officinalis or Lavandula vera. Sometimes those species names are used interchangeably, but it is all true lavender. And this is going to give you the best calming properties, both for inhaling, but also for your skin. Lavender is obtained through steam distillation of your flowering sprigs. Next, we have geranium. Geranium essential oil is from Egypt, and we have a number of dermocosmetic actions again: analgesic, healing, regenerating, adaptogenic, and balances your sebaceous secretions or oil production. Geranium also has great anti-aging properties. And then our psychotropic action, it's very calming, very balancing. Geranium is definitely one of my favorite essential oils, and it has the most beautiful smell. Very floral. That's why it's sometimes known as rose geranium. And geranium essential oil is obtained from your really feathery-like leaves on your geranium plant. And that's via steam distillation. Next, we have rosemary essential oil. Rosemary is from Morocco. And the dermocosmetic actions: antiseptic, antibacterial, circulatory tonic, regenerating, firming, draining. Years ago, when I was learning about essential oils, somebody said to me, rosemary is a great lymphatic regulator. And that phrase has stayed with me ever since then, because rosemary is such a good detoxifying essential oil. Stimulates your circulatory system, stimulates your lymphatic system, helps pull fluids away from tissues so the skin firms up. And again, you get that great detoxification. Our psychotropic action: rosemary is very stimulating. And rosemary essential oil is obtained from the steam distillation of your needles or leaves. Our next essential oil is cypress. Cypress is from Provence in France, And our dermocosmetic action, this is decongesting, and it has great circulatory and draining properties. Our psychotropic action, Cypress is very balancing. And Cypress essential oil is obtained from, essentially, you could say needles of the cypress plant. I always think of cypress as an evergreen type shrub. That's really a great way to describe it. So from steam distillation of your needles. And the last essential oil to talk to you today is thyme. Thyme essential oil is obtained from Spain. Our dermocosmetic action, very strong antibacterial, it's also liposolvent. And our psychotropic action, thyme is very, very stimulating. Thyme is obtained from your flowers and leaves via steam distillation. I always like to point out, you see thyme in a lot of folklore in your thieves' blends, really dating back to the Black or bubonic plague and the whole idea of grave robbers essentially not catching the plague because they used this blend of very antiseptic essential oils, one of them including thyme, to help keep themselves healthy. So thyme definitely is a really strong antibacterial. So those are 5 essential oils I love. And we'll switch gears and talk about regulations and safety as well. Essential oils are very effective, very potent, yet safe when they're used in the right appropriate concentrations and follow applicable regulations. I get very frustrated because I love essential oils and I've worked with them for so long. When people don't understand essential oils or they think they're dangerous, they think they're sensitizing, they don't know how to use them properly. Essential oils are absolutely strong, but how you use them, how you dilute them is important. I also think it's really helpful to point out that different countries have different regulations to oversee essential oils. And this is going to lead me to talk about the United States, but also the EU, the European Union some. So for skincare, essential oils are concentrated for cosmetic use versus for medicinal use. And in the United States, the FDA, our Food and Drug Administration, oversees drugs, not cosmetics. So there is no specific regulating body overseeing the sale of essential oils or products containing essential oils. Unless a product is claiming to treat or heal a disease and it's classified as a drug, the FDA is not overseeing. It's considered a cosmetic. They will get involved if there are recalls or major safety problems, but generally speaking, cosmetics are not overseen by the FDA. The Federal Trade Commission will get involved if there are false advertising claims, but we do not have a regulating body that oversees essential oils in the United States. I think that's really important to point out. So we have to educate our consumers that they work with reputable brands that have worked with essential oils, know how to formulate with them, and really teach them so that they're buying the right types of products and they are buying actual true essential oils and not something that's synthetic or adulterated. You do not go to the gas station and buy essential oils. I was asked that recently. My answer was no. You want to buy from a reputable supplier, someone that is really well versed in essential oils, that is following the appropriate guidelines, and they're also self-policing themselves, especially if they are a company in the US. So you need to know what you're buying. When we look at countries in the EU, they're going to follow regulations based on what specific country, I should say, that they're based in, but also they have EU guidelines to follow. And there's 2 general regulations in the European Union that essential oils fall under. The first is REACH. REACH is Registration, Evaluation, Authorization of Chemicals. Of course, essential oils are phytochemicals, and REACH is working to minimize the harmful effects on human and environmental health. They are paying attention to any raw material or finished product that is imported, exported, or manufactured in the European Union to ensure its safety, especially in quantities over a ton. And any company that's dealing with essential oils is going to have significant amounts of essential oils they're working with. So they would be paying attention. The other governing body or regulation is CLP. CLP is your classification, labeling, packaging of substances and mixtures. And this is harmonized throughout the European Union, and they work in conjunction with United Nations. And the whole idea with CLP is if something is deemed hazardous, it results in both a class and a category danger assessment. And they will use, for example, pictograms to tell you if something's hazardous. And we have a pictogram here of flammable. And I love this because you immediately know something's flammable. We use a lot of products in our day-to-day life that are flammable. For example, hairspray, highly flammable. But if it's made in the EU, it should have a pictogram like this on it. So regulations are important where you're buying from. And here's some more smart practices to add to this that you can share with your customers so they're really well educated about essential oils. First and foremost, only use 100% genuine pure essential oils. As I said, you want to avoid anything that's adulterated or synthetic. And a really good thing to pay attention to is price. Someone shared with me long ago that if I was going to buy essential oils, I wanted to see price differences, and that if I saw a line of essential oils and everything was the same price or very closely priced, I needed to run far away because that was going to give me a good ding, ding, ding bell that I was dealing with synthetics. The prices of essential oils will wildly vary. And a great example I can give you is your damask rose essential oil. Within the last 2 weeks, I was looking up the prices of rose essential oil, and for 5 milliliters, which is about 0.2 ounces, the price I was looking at was over $322 for rose. Your flower essential oils will always be expensive because it takes so much raw material, so many petals, and it's a very detailed process, enfleurage. So flower essential oils will always be costly. Usually mid-range will be your essential oils from twigs and leaves. Citrus essential oils, anything you're obtaining from expression, tend to be the most affordable. But it really comes down to how hard to obtain is the raw material. That's going to increase the price. So you will always expect to see certain essential oils being very expensive, flowers, as I mentioned, and some of your really beautiful resins like frankincense. Frankincense is always expensive. So pay attention to price. Get what you pay for. Also use as directed, whether you're using for inhalation, whether you're going to diffuse, or to use in a skincare preparation. And when we're talking about a skincare preparation, it's best in most cases to use a carrier, a cream and oil, or are the essential oils pre-blended into your skincare product by the manufacturer? The reason I say this, the vast majority of essential oils are not meant to be applied neat, which means undiluted to the skin. Of course, there are a few that you can, like lavender and tea tree, but then there's many you should not. Some great examples, some of your hot essential oils that are very, very stimulating, like essential oil of clove or cinnamon or even black pepper. They are better diluted and in smaller quantities. We also have some essential oils that are toxic and that we do not want to use at all. For example, something like pennyroyal. So use as directed. I think that's always just great advice. This will keep things safe. And because your essential oils are volatile, they turn from a liquid to a gas very rapidly, store them properly. Keep them capped, store them away from light and heat. Generally speaking, your essential oils are going to come in dark glass, like dark brown or dark blue glass, or possibly in aluminum to try to help them stay better preserved so that they're there for you to use. And on that last note, enjoy. You want to use your essential oils for wellness, to help you unwind, to feel good. And we all really, really need that these days. It's just a great way to rebalance yourself. So as I wrap up, I want to say that I love NASNPRO because even during a pandemic, we're still able to meet virtually for education, which I absolutely love, especially as an educator. And I want to thank SpaHive and NASNPRO for drawing such good attention to human trafficking and what we can do in our industry to help and help really identify victims. This is an important topic for us, so thank you. Lastly, Do you want to try some aromatherapy? I hope that you do. So Yon-ka is the company that I work for. I've worked for Yon-ka for over 16 years, so I've been here a long time, and we specialize in aromatherapeutic properties. We have 40% off codes at yonka.com, our website, either NASNPRO 2020 or Spa Hive 2020. And if you don't know what to purchase, I'm going to suggest you purchase our iconic Lotion Yon-ka aromatherapy toners. That's what you see in the picture. These are spray-on toners that you can use after cleansing or anytime throughout the day. You will smell lavender, geranium, cypress, thyme, and rosemary essential oils. And these happen to be my favorite products. There's a normal to oily and a dry sensitive version. So I hope you try them. We sell one bottle globally every 3 minutes. So they're very, very popular with our consumers. So thank you again, merci, and please reach out if you have any further questions.
Hey, Caitlin, that was a great information, great segment on aromatherapy. Now, this is live TV.
Yes.
So we're going to do something a little different. I have an extra gift box from Yon-ka, and I almost wanted to, it's the black with the beautiful kind of silk white ribbon around it, and it has, I'm going to open the products, open the box and show.
Sure.
But I want you to be thinking of a question. So if you are just tuning in, this is live. So if you're watching the replay, I'm sorry. But we're going to give this away live right now. So you think of a question. Whoever comments first with the correct answer gets this. So think of a question, and I'm going to showcase what's in this Yon-ka yummy box. I have the gamage, which is the, you know what? I probably should put on my glasses because you can tell it's real French products. It has French names on it.
Yes.
So it's the exfoliating nourishing scrub with sugar mandarin orange. So that's product number one.
That's our gommage sucre, and that is incredibly yummy. And I have that in my shower as we speak. It's one of my favorite products.
Well, I almost absconded this because it seems so amazing. However,
you were kind.
I was a little bit, the higher voice said, no, you can't do that. You have to play fairly. Anyways, the next, number 2, wonderful product that is in the Yon-ka giveaway is the Nourishing Invigorating Lavender Dry Oil. But wait, there's more. The third amazing product from Yon-ka is the Cleansing Milk. And we have one more. And there's also samples in this box and information. Oh, and just like you were talking about getting the toner that sells out globally every 3 minutes, it is the Invigorating Mist, the Dry Skin Toner. So all of this will go to one lucky live winner. So do you have your question ready?
I do. When I talked about the 5 essential oils that are in the toner and that I work with a lot, I mentioned the way they were obtained, how we get them, what method do we use to extract them. And if someone could answer that, what is our method of obtaining lavender essential oil, geranium, rosemary, and cypress essential oil? It's actually the same procedure for all 5.
If somebody can answer now, type it in the comments, drop it.
Says cold press.
Michelle says cold press. Is that correct, Caitlin?
Bonnie,
That is not.
That is not. Bonnie says distillation.
Yep.
All right, Bonnie, where are you from? So the Yon-ka team is going to connect with Bonnie, actually NASNPRO team, because it's in my hot little hands. So I need to send it to Bonnie. Bonnie, congratulations. You are the Yon-ka winner of today's giveaway. Wasn't that fun? Isn't this a great way? I mean, when it's live, you just never know what's going to happen. It is always going to be exciting. So thank you, Caitlin, for your information, your education. And also, can you just remind me if you want to purchase products, you go to where? What website?
You go to www.yon-ka.com. That will allow you to purchase products. It will be for retail, and you have either of the two 40% off codes that you can use, the NASNPRO code or the Spa Hive code. So it's NASNPRO 20 or Spa Hive 20.
And that's a good way to wrap up 2020. So
yes, 2020.
Thank you so much, Caitlin. And we appreciate all you do for NASNPRO and Spa Hive. So we're getting really excited about our next segment. Many of you know her from the NASNPRO family. It is Caitlin Jutras from Herbal Skin Solutions. She is an educator. She just moved. She left Florida to go to, she went from the East Coast to the West Coast. I'm a little bit surprised because I know she loves Florida and I'm a Florida girl, but we are so grateful that she's going to be able to connect and share her information and expertise with the NASNPRO and Spa Hive community on the art of the pre-sale. So when you are having any questions, make certain that you drop a comment into the comment box below, because all these educators and experts are answering right here on live at NASNPROtv. Also, if you want to make certain to get into the 4:00 giveaway, the big giveaway with the big door prize of the Skin Classic from RN Faces, and also we have products from every sponsor for NASNPRO, will go to one lucky person. So make certain that you are back here 4:00 Eastern Standard Time. Register at NASNPROtv to get into the drawing, because we have to have names somehow to be able to give away these amazing, huge gifts. And we will see you at the top of the hour with Caitlin Jutras from Herbal Skin Solutions. Until then, this is Denise Fuller, founder of NASNPRO.